he was speaking, some of our lecturers walked in, and to my immediate right is someone I respect his work. You know, the first day I stumbled on his writing on the internet, and then I was like, wow, okay, now this is different. You know, we have so many bloggers in Nigeria. Like I used to say in Lagos, 10 guys, put them in one room. 9 of them are artists. The remaining one is a producer. But this time around, we have as many artists, and then we have as many bloggers. You know, and then I used to just be like, oh boy, man, even my grandmother said I'm a blogger now. But, you know, I just saw that this is something different. And I read it, and then I started like, wow, so who's this man? And then, before you could say Jack Robinson, you know, we started discovering here and there that he's actually been around for a while. It's just that, you know, he's one of those people, they don't make noise, you know they wear suits. I mean, this is Godwin Tom, ladies and gentlemen. He's presently Whiskey and Waje's manager right now. And to my other right is another very, very big person in the music business. When you're talking about promotion and publicity, he's worked with Chocolate City, he's worked with EME, and you know, he's worked with a lot of, he worked with Mavis, right? Yeah, and his name is Uche Breeds. If you read a lot of, you read Why Naija, you read, his comments are everywhere. If you watch Robbie Mines on Channels TV, you know, he's just been amazing to this entertainment business. So, without speaking too much English, I will give the mic over to Godwin Tom, and he will be telling us about management.
Hi guys. Alright. Before I start, let me say this. You're not going to ask me any questions about whiskey. Cool? Yes. Well, good to be here. I'm Godwin Tom, as she said. Worked in the industry for a while, and I'm going to speak about managers. Yeah. I'm gonna try my best not to do the cliche things, you know, defined by dictionary. You all have dictionary. You all have the internet to browse. I'm going to speak to you directly. I'm going to speak to you assuming that we have managers here and you have an understanding of these things. But I'm going to try and just do it directly to the point. Some of you may be hurt. This is my disclaimer. Do not touch me outside. I came with security. Some of you may be hurt. Some of you may get upset about the things I will say, artists and managers included. But I'm going to do this based on the mistakes that I have made as a manager. Yeah? How many of you have ever read my blog? That's fair. That's quite fair. How many of you have pens? Your pens. How many of you have notepads? Or you write it down. It is it is managing the talents. They're all spelled how they sound. Managing the talent .blogspot.com. Yeah? Check it out. Managing the talent. MANAGINGTHETALENT.blogspot.com. Alright, let's get straight to it. Now, who is a manager? I mean, I'm not going to go by your dictionary definition, but I can tell you that your manager is not a publicist. I can tell you that your manager is not a promotions person. I can tell you that your manager is not a label. Your manager is the person who is directly responsible for the development of your career. Yeah? The record label is set up to make money from music. That is the reason why they can sign 10 to 15 artists if they can afford it. Do you understand? The manager is responsible for ensuring you get the best deals from the record label, ensuring you get the best deal from your marketers, ensuring that your publicist is doing their work, ensure that your lawyers are are doing their job, the manager pretty much manages every element of the artist's life, sometimes personal. Yeah? And the reason why you do personal things is not because you are jobless, or because you have low self-esteem, or because if you do not cover those personal things that may affect the artist adversely, it will affect your business. If it affects your business, it affects you. Yeah? Now, there are several things that the manager is meant to do. If I tell you the manager is meant to supervise all these people, it simply means that the manager is meant to have an understanding of all of these things. So what does the publicist do? The manager needs to know that. What does the label do? The manager needs to know that. What does the promotions guy do? The manager needs to know that. If you don't know, if you don't know the job, how do you tell the person to do it? Right? Abi? I need us to be a little interactive. Make me feel like I'm talking to people. So if you don't know the job, let's start again. So if you don't know the job, how do you tell someone to do it, right? Yeah. Exactly. And that's one of the most important things that every manager should understand. Your desire to continuously learn what is required of your work. And that's just to start, I'm gonna go straight to my next point. The job of the 21st century talent manager. Yeah? You should know it all, or you can't do it all. So you know what the publicist does, you know what, I'll give you an example. In the old days, all you needed to do as a manager, truthfully, yeah, was to look for a label for your artist. Yeah, in the old days, if you can find a good recording deal for your artist, you've done your job. You've done your job. That was then, unfortunately, because these days, an artist can set up a label of himself. And then you have social media that can be used as a platform to distribute music. Like Wizkid can get a song to trend simply by putting it on his Twitter page. Right? This has happened before. But in those days, we didn't have these things. So it's a lot more difficult now. So what exactly is the job of the talent manager now? Yeah? And I'll explain it in 2 words. Business development. It's gone beyond selling the artist to a label. It's now gone into identifying the artist's value, building opportunities, and creating avenues for revenue generation for the artist. You guys understand what I mean? So you want to look at the artist and say, this is the talent I have. What is this guy capable of doing? He can sing, or he can rap, he can write, he can compose music, he can produce. He's also a good poet. He speaks well. He's also a website guy. Yeah? Now, how do I take all of these talents that my artist has, yeah, and monetize it? Monetize his activities. How do I make money for the artist? That is the main. Why are we in the business? Exactly. So if you cannot figure out how to take advantage of every single aspect of the artist to generate income, or to at least use it for publicity. There are certain things that you may not be able to use to generate income, but you can use to direct attention, yeah, to your artist. I'll give you an example, yeah, and for some of you this may be free consultation. You're an artist, but you're also a good poet, which means that you can set up a blog, and you can direct traffic and build an interaction with your fans. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make money from it. If you build a huge following for your blog, then you now have advertisers saying, I want to advertise. You're reaching 2 million people every week. I want to advertise on your blog. Then money is coming out. But you need to be able to identify and figure out the best ways that you want to help your artist. Another way of looking at this is you have, there's several, I'm going to go to numbers. But not yet. Let's just get this out of the way. Yeah. So basically, your job as a 21st century manager, the manager of now, the new age, is business development. Because even if the label is involved, unfortunately in Nigeria, not a lot of labels. There are very few labels. I can count in one hand that are actually doing that label work. There are very few, not many. And some are not doing it because they don't want to. Some are doing it because they can't afford it. It is an expensive process to sign an artist. It's not the one that, oh, this guy, I get one label, or I get one, see, I get space. Who just buy studio equipment, put on there, start a label, or gumbo, music label, you know what I mean? It's not like that. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking, it's expensive, promotion is expensive. To promote music is expensive. Rebranding an artist, ensuring that they're wearing the right clothes, ensuring that they have proper styling, ensuring that, you know, whatever information they put out is in their benefit, which is where you have a publicist. It's expensive because you have to pay these people, right? You have to pay these people. So you don't just jump into these things and then carry, you know, you're just like a babe that is leading a guy on. You know what I mean? Don't do that to the artist. Because if you don't have a plan for how you intend to make money, yeah? For instance, if I go to an investor and I say I want to start a label and I cannot tell him how I intend to make the money back, are you going to give me money? Exactly. So even if you are the person who is going into that business, as a manager, you sit down and think about how do I intend to generate income that I'm going to make from this artist because of the talent that they have. Because at the end of the day, that's the reason why we're here. The artist talent. I have a job because Wizkid is a fantastic singer and Waje is a fantastic singer, you know what I mean? And then because I have a job, his publicist has a job because they have to protect his image and his interest. Then his stylist has a job because he needs to wear clothes. Do you understand? His PA has a job because I can't be with him all the time. So if you look at that, we just created jobs for how many people? Yeah? Do you understand what I mean? So you need to understand, how do I pay? I'm sorry, I thought about something just now. How do I pay these people? You know, I remember a guy coming to me to say, Mr. Godwin, listen, just manage me. You make money. I said, how? I said, I'm the new MI. And I said, that in itself is a problem. Because I already sold one MI. You understand? How am I going to now say, oh, I made a clone? Anyway, the next thing I want to talk about are obligations. What do you owe your artist? Now, I'll tell you a little story. Imagine, I'll explain it this way. You're sitting, you're a guy. You know, you can take care of yourself. You're quite okay. But you need help. Yeah? And so you get in the car, you're trying to get from point A to point B. And you get in the car, and a 5-year-old is driving. Yeah? And are you sure? Why are you? You know, I'm trying to imagine how confused I would be. And then the child says, don't worry, trust me. Yeah? It'd be funny, but this is what we ask artists to do every time you start managing a new artist. Especially if you're a manager who has gotten a lot of experience in the industry. This is what you're asking your artist. I don't know my way around, but trust me, that is a huge thing to ask. That is an expensive thing to ask because this person has a career that he's taking and saying, my future source of livelihood, I'm putting in your hand. Please, managers, if you can't do it, stop there. Do you understand? If you can't do it, stop there. I'll tell you a little story. Before I managed MI, I had a job. I was doing alright. PR marketing manager. Chilling. Yeah, so I had my table, everything. You know, time to time, water on the table. You know. And when I met MI, he told me a lot of things. But he said to me one thing. He said, I can't pay you now. I can't afford. I was like, can you pay me? Because I have a job. And he goes, I can't. So if you're looking for the money, bros, don't bother. Yeah? But he said one thing to me. He said, if you're going to do this, he said, I'm 27. This was 2008. I'm 27. I can't get a job at the bank. Yeah? I can't go and apply. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty much there. If it doesn't work, I'm effed. You understand? Can you do this? And I quit my job the next day. Now, a year later, 22 awards later, it didn't matter anymore. But if I hadn't, we drank, slept, ate, pulled, peed in my music. And that's what your manager, your personal manager needs to do. Because you're carrying somebody's life and you're saying, this is the most important obligation. Now, because now another mistake we make, a lot of people come to me and say, man, I'm tired of this artist. They are just stressing me. I need you guys to understand this because I go through this too. I'm tired of this artist, man. This demand is getting pompous, proud, because he's out with two-face. I got him the deal. Me, I sat there. But let me explain something to you. That he has become successful because you worked is payback for the trust he had in you when he gave you his career. As he grows, expectations will change. He's going to expect you to do more because we're no longer at that place where we could take Okada and stop by the side and walk to the venue. We're no longer there. We're at that place where we need to figure out how people see me needs to change. I don't want to go clubbing because if I go clubbing, they must pay me. How do I get there? Then you're like, shit, I already told this guy that it's broke. You understand? The artist gets upset because the artist goes and sits down with artists that are succeeding and he sees the way they are treated, he sees the way their management work. And he comes back and he says, this guy, how far? You know what I mean? He's like, this guy, you have to step up. I'm gonna explain these things to you so that you understand. I'm gonna use the things, even if it may hurt my ego a little, I'm gonna use those things. 2009, somebody said something to me when, you know, the fame, you know what I mean? You're chilling. I used to have one suit I used to wear every time to shows. You're chilling, you know, everybody wants to talk to you, everybody likes you because of your artist, bear in mind. Yeah, everybody wants to talk to you, everybody wants to hang out with you, everybody wants to know what you're doing. And then Mike said to me one day, we're having an argument about something, and he said, Godwin, forget the hype, do your job. It's so easy to get carried away. Your obligation changes every time your artist excels. It becomes higher. The reason why they promote people at work is not because, you know, they like their faces. Your boss just comes and just says, I like your suit. You're promoted. You know what I mean? It doesn't happen. The reason why people get promoted are for several reasons. Either they do something spectacular that the company thinks it is a good idea to keep this guy or to promote him, or they've done their work so well over time that people feel like it's no longer a challenge for them. We need this person is so good at this, let's put him somewhere else where we can be, where he can benefit us. Do you understand what I mean? Now, as a manager, at certain points in time, you will get to that point where you have done this level well, but we need to step up. And it does not end. It doesn't. Usher fired his mother because of personal reasons. She didn't like his wife. And he wasn't comfortable working. It wasn't a comfortable environment. She was always having issues. But the guy he hired, Medina, who's a very respected person, when he was fired, when they asked him what happened, he said, Usher is an artist on a different level and his expectations are extremely different. Guess who went back to work for Usher? His mother. Do you understand? Now, somebody said something to me about, you know, I need to clear this since I have a lot of people. About entourage. Yeah? People, especially talent managers, are paying attention to the wrong thing. They're not getting the message of entourage. It is not about the party and the lifestyle and the women and the drugs and the drinks. That's not what it's about. Someone said to me, that the talent manager's job is not to, we don't build the artist as business. That's not our job. You know, we take care of the artists, make sure they're okay, we go to parties with them. Hold on. Watch the manager. Who's the manager on Entourage? E, right? Watch Eric. If you can find the series, go and look for it. And watch Eric. Every time he goes out with Vince, he's either there to protect Vince's interest is there for a reason. Then when they go out as friends and have fun, watch him when he wakes up in the morning. He has a meeting. He's panicking because he got drunk and woke up late. That's what they're showing you, that he has responsibility. By the time he's waking up, Vince is still sleeping. Vince doesn't care how the deal came. Vince's his own concern is that's your job, figure it out. I will be a fantastic actor. I will work on ensuring I'm a fantastic actor. And that's what artists should do. Work on being a fantastic artist. Manager, ensure that you are good at your job. He said best is relative, so continue to be better. So even if you're the best, just continue to ensure that you are miles ahead of everybody. Yeah? I mentioned that as the only obligation because it's something that a lot of people need to get into their heads. They need to understand that you owe the artist. When somebody says, I give you my life, by making the person successful and thinking, you know what, I can chill. Bear in mind that you have your own aims, you have your own goals. Don't you aspire to be bigger? Right? So because you aspire to be bigger, you should not rest that you just made him 10 million naira when somebody else just made 100 million. I'm not saying you should go and steal it. I'm saying you should figure out what did they do to get 100 million and how do I get to that point? What are they saying in these meetings? Who are they meeting? Where are they going? When you understand that, you will never ever stop working. And I don't mean to your age or anything. I'm just saying you never stop wanting to be better. Please don't be slow to me. Now the concept of numbers. Yeah? Numbers basically means money. That's why we're here. Isn't that why we're here? Yeah, boys are not smiling. Yeah? But the concept of money. As a manager, what are the revenue sources or revenue streams that you can develop for your artists? Yeah? There are several. Either you get a recording deal. Now, you mentioned that not all deals are the same. I'll explain why. If a label says, I'm going to pay for your house, pay for your car, pay for your feeding, give you a non, give you house help, give you gatesman, give you gardener, you know, provide you with regular monthly income, and then you look at the entire thing in a year comes to about 30 million naira. You think they're going to give you a good percentage? They're going to say, listen, I need to recoup my money. And now, a lot of people don't understand the concept of negotiating these kind of deals because they don't. It's okay to have those deals as long as you're protected in the contract that these things will be provided. Yeah? But you should also learn to understand that at some point, you will pay off that debt. When you pay off that debt, you will now continue paying that money. People don't understand that these things are things you begin to renegotiate. It should be in the clause. The moment I'm done paying you, we need to sit down and renegotiate the percentages and the terms of the contract. Do you understand? Because somebody say, it's a risk. I want to give you 50, 40, 30, 20 million. I did fart the money. You understand? There's no tree in my backyard that prints money. So I want something in return. I need to feel comfortable that if I give you this money, I won't lose, I won't regret. So I'll take a higher percentage. But what people mistake is when you finish paying, then you now start having grievances, and then they say, look at your contract. You said you were going to pay. Another thing I want to point out is publishing. People sign out their masters forever. Yeah. I've seen the contracts in Nigeria. They sign out their masters forever. The rights to their masters forever. Now, we're talking about numbers a bit. This is money. I'll tell you why. Do you know that every time you hear, I'm on top of the world? Sorry, I'm a terrible singer. I'm not. Yeah? The Nations Cup song. Every time it's played, the band gets paid. That's what you call royalties. Do you understand? If you do not own your masters, somebody else, I know, I have a friend in Kenya who did a score for a movie. The company came, he was young. Yeah, the company came and said, we want to use the score. And they paid him. They paid him like $5,000. And the guy was excited. I was like, woo! Club! let's go and drink. Yeah? And a year later, the movie was nominated for Oscars. Yeah? And my guy is sitting in Kenya, hating himself. Because that $5,000 finished in 1 month or less. And somebody sitting somewhere continuously kicking millions of dollars on his head. Yeah? So you need to understand the concept of masters. When you record, when you write, save it. When you go and sit down in the studio, if you can, collect your masters. If you're someone like Nato C who doesn't write, Nato C freestyles too. So he pretty much just writes in his head and voices. That's what he does. Collect your masters. At least a copy. And explain to the producer why you're collecting your masters. You didn't write it. You need proof that you wrote this song. Even if it's a rough copy. This is the first thing I did, collect it. Get a hard drive, put it in there. Yeah? Secondly, when you have deals with your labels, have conversations with them about collecting, at least getting the accountants to supply you with how much it is they're spending. For those of us that are already signed to labels, yeah, get a booking procedure that is transparent in place. A booking procedure basically outlines what is the process of booking my artist. How does everyone see what's going on? That's what the booking procedure does for you. It helps you understand what it is. If they negotiated 10 million, the rider contract should say it. And if the rider contract is sent to the client, it should be sent to you as the manager as well. If the rider contract is sent from the manager, it should be sent to the label. So you can now sit at the end of the month and say, we did 10 shows at this amount. And therefore we made this amount this month. So you can now say how much was the label paid. And you can now start calculating. But if you don't know how much the label invested in you, yeah, I'll triple it. Yeah? I just triple the number. I say, when I bought you car, it was 8 million. Was new. You know? Yeah, and you really don't have a say. You don't have when you don't have proof. Yeah? Another thing, bring back tones. Yeah? How many of you know what bring back tones are? Like when you call and you hear, yeah, maybe. Yeah? I'm not talking about the band when you did Oliver Twist. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about yeah. Yeah? Because you do not know when it will turn around. You may record one song. Let me explain this. Yeah? When we put out Damiduro, yeah, the reason we put out Damiduro was because we were scared. Somebody leaked it. So out of panic, the video was sound mic check. Do you understand? Out of fear, we had to do master and put out. Nobody thought Damiduro was going to become that big. Okay, we had an idea, but we had an idea, but we didn't know how big it would become. Now, if you don't have these things in place and you hit, and then there's no way to take advantage of the hits. I don't want to call any artist name. There's an artist that made one of the hits of 2009. Big hits, played everywhere. Let's say it was everywhere. I traveled. I was in Baltimore, and I was hearing the music. That's how big the song was becoming, and it was played in a T-Mobile store by a Chinese-looking guy, and there was a black guy called Mackenzie. But Mackenzie didn't care. But the Chinese guy was enjoying the music. Do you understand what I mean? It had gone, but this same guy was in the hotel with me and didn't have money. Why? Because the things that were needed to provide revenue streams because of the hits that was made were not available. So all those things just passed. Imagine if he made money from Ringback Tone. Imagine if he made money from iTunes. Imagine if he made money from Amazon. Imagine if I could go on. Merchandising materials. You say, you know what, this song, this title of my song is so big, I'm going to make t-shirts for it. And people are going to buy it. I'm going to go and do concerts in 3 different places. And I'm going to charge gate fee. I'm going to find somebody, because of how big my song is, to sponsor. These are opportunities that we're not taking advantage of. And so by the time the song died out, and he couldn't make another hit, nobody cared anymore. Artists, the market is too saturated for us to be chilling for one-hit people. We don't have the time. Because as soon as that song goes on radio and nobody cares about it, the next day they are playing another song. Go to Cool FM, go to Beat FM, go to Rhythm FM, go to all the radio stations. There are stacks of CDs that have never been played sitting there. So, what do you do? I'm still talking about numbers now. What are the things you do? Numbers do not only relate to money. It relates to resources available. How many people, how many of you here put out a song, and before you put out the song, you've created a plan for how the song will be put out? I can guarantee that not many. Everything needs to be, if you don't know what you want to achieve, how do you know if you've achieved it? Do I want to create awareness with the song? Do I want to make money with the song? What are the things I want to do? And if I want to make money, what are the things I need to do to make money? Nobody thinks about it. They just feel, I don't record this song. This guy, open down. This guy, okay, we go put down for 4 share. 4 share. 4 share. I don't know. Who go put the account? You go put the account. You go use your name. My email, I don't already use that one. Oh, I don't remember the password. Oh, okay, I'll open up. You open the thing, put it out, put it on Twitter, and then tell your guys, please RT. You now start begging people that don't know you. You now tweet at don't just please RT. Download and retweet. Yeah? I used to do it too. Yeah? But because when you don't have a plan, you start begging people for things. If you had a plan to say, okay, before the song comes out, I'm going to create some posts. I have 20 friends on my BBM who are people I know who do things for me. I have 15 or 20 or 100 on my Twitter. I have this amount of people on my Facebook. And I have friends with me who will text to help me get the song out. I say, okay, based on the people I have, let us sit down, let me create a plan. If 20 people are tweeting at Peter them at the same time, if 30 are tweeting at this person at the same time, this person at the same time, okay, I want that for creating awareness that my song is coming. Now, I hope my song is good. Do you understand what I mean? There are so many good songs. I know a guy who plays every instrument, writes his own music, produces his own music. You guys don't know it. So there are a lot of talented people out there that I was talking to someone the other day, and we were talking about the biggest song in Nigeria last year. Last year, and we didn't understand what the guy was saying. But the problem is the song was marketed so well. I know how many people I met that did not like Scapegoat when the band put it out. But there was a plan for release, and there was a proper plan for how to ensure that even if you don't like it, you will know it. Do you understand? Even if you don't like it, not everybody is that lucky. One of the lucky people that got my attention were Dambo driver. So I was laying down on my bed and I started singing, "Shebi will be that for you." What? The human mind is interesting. When we're fed with something, even if we don't like it, yeah, we acknowledge it. Do you understand what I mean? And that, it doesn't matter. That's why some people say good publicity and bad publicity is publicity. Do you understand? But you need to be very careful that when that publicity starts, you're able to control and direct whatever information you need to put out is properly put out. Now, another way that you can make money from your artist, after your artist gets popularized, stuff like advertising. If you know that if I know that my artist can generate traffic for a certain thing, my guy here knows what I'm talking about. Yeah? Don't do it for free. Don't do it for free. If you know for a fact that you can guarantee attention for something, do not do it for free. Make your artist money. The biggest thing people don't understand is that an artist will be loyal to a manager who provides solutions. If you're able to say, run this thing by my manager. Do you understand? I am honored to say that even if it's a process, I started managing whiskey 4 months ago, you know what I mean? And conversations have changed in a while. But I'm happy to say there are a lot of things that are done, yeah, that I know of. And some of them don't concern me. For instance, at the meeting I had recently, yeah, and I was able to move money up. He's laughing, the guy is here, he's looking at me like, yeah, thank you, give me money. Yeah? Do you understand? You need to be able to say to yourself, can my artist do this for these people? Yes, then it is a service. Because it is a service, you should pay him. But before you get to that point, you need to have developed the necessary attention your artist needs. So when he says, Whiskey retweeted me once. He tweeted at me, he said, shout out my management, now put my name. My phone was hanging. People were arting, follow back. Nice one. Yeah? That is power. And how do you make money from that power? Is what the manager should start thinking about. Numbers. Numbers. Yeah? Wait, hold on, I want to give a shout out. Somebody is tweeting at me seriously. I'm just looking at her and see, There plenty. Thank you guys. All in the process of staying relevant. This is where you need people like, yes, you're making money, yes, you're doing well, but you need to begin to invest. Invest in proper publicity, invest in people who can manage your music, your brand, everything that involves you properly. Do you understand what I mean? You need to start investing. You need to invest in proper stuff. You need to invest these things. You might say, I'm putting out 100K every month. Yeah? I'm putting out 100K. Yeah, I mean, there are the investments that are important. Yeah, like your housing, but I will let your business manager and, your accountant advise you. Yeah, I'm talking about investing in your career. Because you made a hit doesn't mean that all the money should go to clubs. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something. A lot of artists are ignorant, and I'm going to expose some club people here.
Go ahead.
I should go ahead, I mean. Hey, right now, I've been chair. Yeah? Do you realize that you can make your artist money for making an appearance at a club?
How?
Yeah? Do you realize that? Let me explain it to you. I go and sit down with Club X. And Club X said, bring your boy to my club. And I said, no. He said, why? Because I said, you won't pay me. He said, I'll give you 2 Hennessy and 2 Rosé. I said, I can buy it. I want to come to, I can go and buy it. No, true. How much is it, Abi? How much? You calculate the money, we'll save. I'll go and buy it. Abi, you want us to come and call your club? Go. Okay, so how do I bring your artist? Simple. I have a publicity team. I have a management team. I'll come to your club in 3 weeks. 3 Fridays from now, I'll make an appearance in your club. I will promote it that I'm coming to your club from 2 weeks. Yeah? I will draw attention to your club, and as soon as the date comes, I will drive traffic to your club, which means because I came, 300 to 500 people are going to come, and they're going to buy drinks, and it's about units now. So if you can move, like, every time people buy a bottle of Hennessy, some of them buy 5 candles, they drink, yeah, and they put it out. So I'm supporting certain brands. I call their names and the rest I don't. Yeah, and you do that. You do that. You put out, and because even if there's some people, those 1,000 naira energy drinks that they sell in the club, they make money for people. Because there are a lot of guys that cannot buy big bottles of, you know, they just come and chill by the bar energy drink. I'll put it by the side, I'll pour it in the glass and hide they can quickly. Thank you. Now hold it. Now looks like you're holding gin and tonic. Just chill by the bar. You know? Those they move units. That's why the club never stops giving it to you. They will never say, you're broke. They will give you because it adds up. So if me as the artist can guarantee that I can bring you these people that can help you add up. Then I heard what club owners make. I decided I thought I wanted to go into the makeup. In a night from 20, 40 million. Business idea. Yeah? Do you understand? Now I'm telling the club owners in one night I can make you approximately 5 million. I want 1 million.
Yeah.
Who lost? Nobody. You see the logic. But your artist needs to be able to draw that crowd. Not going to make empty promises here. Imagine the artist is not chilling, and the artist, you know the artist now, you will not want to show up until you know that there are people there. And in the club there are crickets. You can hear the crickets just chilling, waiting for everybody to go. The artist won't go now. Club, if you can't guarantee that, don't make those promises. Now I want to talk about something very important, which is the artist brand, which the manager manages. A brand is a promise. It is a promise. If you tell somebody, I'm a rapper, this is the brand I represent. Yeah? You've made them a promise that consistently you will do the things that you said you will do. You will rap, you will look this way, you will behave this way. Yeah? One person that has successfully changed his brand over time, yeah, is Jay-Z. And he did it with age. He decided to set trends. When he became 30, yeah, he decided it was no longer cool to act like he's 20. I can't be running around the block. You know, I'm just chilling in the block. You know, me and my niggas. So he said 30 is the new 20. Guess what? A lot of guys that were 30 were like, yeah, this 20-year-old guy that acts as if they are hip. We are hip too. Then he became 40 and it was no longer cool to say you're buying the bar. Because every other 20-year-old is buying the bar. So he bought shares in drink companies. And he said, yes, I don't own the bar, I own the club. And people want to relate with that kind of success. So you change your brand, but you make them that promise that you're going to continue to grow, and you keep it. Now he's a family man. His views are changing, and you can see it from the way he dresses, from the way he talks. It's a brand. When you tell somebody this is what I stand for, you made them a promise. If you say you're going to start singing, you're going to start singing when you've been rapping since, you now have to start an entire overhaul of your brand. You're now making us a new promise. Now, how do we believe that promise is your job? Business is business. Yeah? Whether you're in telecoms, you're in banking, you're in the music industry. Yes, our music industry is not structured, but what is structure? Tell me, what is structure? Structure is basically day-to-day itemization and systemization of your activity. So if this is how do we release music? This is the way we release. This is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Okay, does this work? We try it, it works. Okay, this is the way we release music. So every time you release music, you don't need to hire a new staff. You don't need to hire a new promoter. You have the steps. Just follow it. That is the way you build structure. Nobody is waiting. We don't need to wait for someone to come and invest 5 billion. If you invest 5 billion in the industry and we don't know how to use it, what's the point? So you want to be able to, and it starts from companies. When companies like EME decide we're going to start putting up structure, how we interact with people. before you book any of our artists, we're going to give you a questionnaire. Your questionnaire is going to tell us how we bill you. And when we bill you, we'll send you a rider. It's a process. Now, when companies begin to see this process in different artists, you're beginning to structure the industry gradually. So you want to sit down and say, if I'm going to go talk to these people, there has to be a system and a process about how I do it. One of the only ways you can do these things, if you know it's true or false. Read books. Go and read my blog. Yeah? Me too, I'm a marketer. Yeah? I'll be there. I'll pay the big one. Does that work? Yeah? Read, study, buy books, invest. Something needs to have value. Stop begging for books. Buy it because you need to understand that, okay, some people borrow books and they don't read them. Buy a book. Go and check if you can afford them, buy. Do you understand what I mean? Even if you can't afford them, online there's so many free resources. Just Google. Do you understand what I mean? Go online and search. Type keywords. Job of a manager. I swear, you have over 1 million hits. Just do it. Do you understand what I mean? Just do it. By the time you do these things and you begin to develop yourself, you will understand. I didn't even talk about the 6 different types of managers that there are. Do people even know we have more than 2? These are things that you want to understand. Just because you have a publicist doesn't mean you don't want to know what they do. You must know. Go and study. Go and read. Do you understand? Understand business. Understand publishing. Understand rights. Masters. What are masters? If my artist does a song, what does it mean? If I go to produce it and with a producer, what is the producer's percentage? Few people don't know that the producer has a right to ask for money from songs that you are performing happily. So how do I eliminate that problem? And he explained it to you. Contracts. Get a lawyer. Because there are clauses that I was talking to an artist the other day and they was telling me, let me tell you what they said in my contract. They said this. I said, go and bring the freaking contract. Contracts are not listed. A contract is not bullet points. There are clauses and a lot of things are hidden in those clauses. And a lot of people don't understand it. Even people that have master's degree in business don't understand. There's certain things that they'll tell you that you are signing 3 albums. I'm going to say this now. You're signing 4 albums for 5 years. Yeah? You're going to say to yourself, 5 years? Really? Do you understand that the time it takes to milk 1 album is 2 to 3 years? And when I say milk, I'm talking show money, endorsement, returns. It's 3 years. Which businessman who in his right senses say, I released 1 album this year, when you're not Rihanna? Who's going to go on tour? Do you understand? Who's going to go on tour and make a lot of, the returns will be ridiculous. So the next year they'll say, yes, do it again. You know what I mean? Do it again. Release another album. We're going to get, yeah, okay, let's go on tour. Make money. Next year, do it again. Because they're making money. But when the money doesn't come as quickly, we don't have royalties. Jay-Z put out Empire State of Mind and invested $1 million in pushing it. Pushing, distribution, promotion, everything, because it was a New York song. He made $5 million back or more. We don't have that kind of system. Do you understand? We don't have it. So it takes a while for companies to make their money back. Now you're saying to yourself, hey, but it's 5 years. So even if I do 2 albums, it's done. You don't realize that there's a clause there that says if 5 years exceeds, if it's over, but the albums have not been done, you have to finish. Then you spend 20 years to only finish. Yeah? These are the kind of issues that you need to begin to look at when you do these things. Gather yourself with people. Even if you need to get favors, ensure that you're getting favors from people that bring in value. There are people who you can go to. You can go and sit to the lawyer and say, oh God, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm trying to do. Support me. Can you support me? Even if I can't pay all your fees, and I don't do consultancy for free. You pay me something. You understand? So is this, what are your fees? Okay, sir, I can't afford these fees, but I believe I have somewhere I'm going. Listen to my music. Yeah? Now I want to be protected. I know I have the talent and people are going to take advantage of me. I want. It's business. The idea of business is I make money from Mr. A and Mr. B. Because Mr. A and Mr. B cannot provide things that I'm providing for myself for themselves. So now the question is, how much money can I make from Mr. A and Mr. B? Business. So don't get carried away. Business is business. Understand your business and you will succeed. Thanks.
At this point, I need to say double wow. Seriously, understand your business and you will succeed. Thank you very much, Mr. Godwin Tom. I really appreciate it, and I'm sure you caught something, right? Yeah. So next time someone comes and says, I will manage and take you to the moon, ask questions. Okay. If you haven't gotten the printed out materials, those printouts you have, they contain the lectures delivered by Nigerian Olaoshu and Uche Briggs. Adepoju's lecture will be on the website. Okay, it will be provided, and of course his own something else. You can always go to his blog anyway. I mean, he writes. There's so many things on that blog. Even me, I read the blog and learn. Seriously, I read the blog and teach myself all over again. So you can always go to his blog and get all the information you need. Just as he was speaking, Ali Kabasa walked in. And I must say big welcome to Ali Kabasa of Konya Tunes. You should know him. I mean, the last time I saw him he's been 1 year, right? You know, this is such an amazing person. We see each other once a year, and we live in Lagos. I don't understand. And then maybe he will talk to me once in 4 months. But he's so amazing that if I say, Oga, boss, I need you, he will always show up. Thank you so much. I appreciate it today.